Hey rum fans, in this video I'm going to be giving you the top rums you need to be drinking or trying in 2023. Welcome back rummies, I'm Steve the Barman and I'm here to help you on your rum journey by mainly focusing on rums under 50 quid. But who knows what's going to happen in 2023, we might go a little bit more expensive, but there's still going to be a big emphasis on those rums. Now in this video I am going to be giving you the top rums that you need to look out for and try in 2023, but instead of giving you my opinions, I opened it out to my rum community on Instagram, on Discord, in the YouTube comments, in the YouTube stories, in the YouTube community tab, and I got so much feedback. So this is going to be a big community kind of list that's been put together, but stay tuned to the end of the video because I am going to give you my top 5 picks. Now I did watch my 2022 video just to kind of see how much my palate had changed in a year or so and whether I had any different opinions, and the top 10 I gave, there are definitely 3 without a doubt that I still kind of stand by in that video. I mean, this is one, the Plantation Gran Añejo Guatemala Belize. Fantastic. The Plantation XO, of course it is. Fantastic rum. And I still stand by that. The Ron Cube, the Suave, kind of the sherry based. I mean, these 3 rums, perfect for sipping neat. I mean, all 3 of those I would quite happily sip neat. All 3 of those I would mix that, but all 3 of those, you know, I was going to say for mixing, definitely those 2. You know, you've got your cocktails, you've got your rum and cokes, your rum and ginger beers, your Stratford sodas. I just think I'm well happy with those 3 still. Now you'll have to stay tuned to the end of the video to see whether I do actually recommend though any of those make my top 5. That's going to be interesting. But as I said, this is a big collaborative effort, and I do need to give a big shout out to Chris Bingo Ringo, one of my members. He put together a spreadsheet, a pie chart of everything everyone said in Discord, and that allowed me to add in all the other comments from Instagram, from the DMs in Instagram and from YouTube. As I said, the community tab and my story replies in there, and video comments, to be fair. So there's one big doubt. I've come up with my own little how to exclude quite a few, because you can imagine there was a hell of a lot of rums, like 80-90 rums mentioned. So I discounted like a lot of rums that only got 1 or 2 mentions, and really focused on the ones that sort of got 15-20 mentions by different people. Now you can imagine most of my back bar did get a mention, 1 or 2 here, and the four closest ones to the ones I'm going to give you were kind of like the obvious ones really. Plantation 3 stars, Plantation OFTD, you know, they did get quite a few. Florida Carney 12-year-old, it's a standard. It's so cheap. It's a standard, you know. It really is, but there are better coming. And the final one, you know, and a lot of people from the US kind of picked this up as well, is the Smith & Cross. These are the 4 what I would call near the near misses to the ones that I'm going to give you. And I also need to give a shout out to some of the US rums that we just don't get in the UK. Denizen 8 got a lot of mentions, and the Hamiltons, a few of the Hamilton rums got a lot of mentions. We just don't get them in the UK, so I can't sort of say you need to try these or not. I've genuinely never tried them. Word on the street is though, Holmes Key are coming to the UK very, very soon, so I'm looking forward to that. And there's definitely, I've tried a few of them. There's definitely some that I will be shouting out should they make it to the UK. But you know, I can't talk about the US rums, but you US guys, you're gonna have to take my word for the Cuban stuff, all right? I know you don't get the Cuban stuff. It's a great shame, but there are some belters. Now, just before I dive in and reveal what my community's top rums and what I think you should be drinking, I want to give you some of my disappointments from 2022, because there were a few rums that I just had high hopes for, but I just didn't really enjoy. The first ones I don't actually own, and that was after getting back into like El Dorado. I went off sort of Demerara, Guyana and rums for a while, but I got back into them in the 12 and 15, and I really wanted to try the single stills, the Enmore, Versailles and the Port Moran. Now I've only tried the 40% ABV versions, and I have to say they just left me wanting. They were not brilliant rums at all, and I was very, very disappointed with them. However, I have heard the stronger, I think they're around about 56% ABV versions are a lot better, but I do not think the 40% version single stills from El Dorado are worth trying, because they just They were so disappointing for me. The other two rums that I'm going to kind of mention, I do have here. The first one, I'm going to bring out this one, D'Orly's XO. Again, as I say, I'm not a huge Barbados fan, but this is a sherry aged rum. Didn't really hit the spot for me. And the other one along the similar lines is actually this. Again, this was a revisit for me actually. I'd had this a few years back. But again, the 1888, again, it's another sort of sherry aged rum. For me, they do not come close to my favourite, which is the Rum Cube. The Rum Cube Añejo Suave just ticks every single box that I want from a sort of a decent aged rum that's got that sherry finish. I think this is superb. I know you guys in the US don't get it, but for me, this D'Orly's XO and the 1888, very, very disappointing. So here we are. These are the top 5 rums as recommended by you guys. And these, you know, they were leaps and bounds beyond, in front of like number 6, number 7 and number 8. It wasn't even close. These were just way out in front of what you guys recommended. So if you're new to rum, especially sipping, you want to get into sipping rums, this is what my rum community, without a shadow of a doubt, recommends. We'll go through them. Plantation. The XO, so Barbados rum, absolutely belting. About £50. It's not a 20-year-old. It was created to the anniversary of Alexander Gabriel and Plantation. So don't think it's a 20-year-old rum. It's not, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and the bottle is stunning. Now, I have to say, the D'Orly's 14-year-old. Do you know what? I really did like the D'Orly's 12 until I tried the D'Orly's 14. That just, price-wise, you're not talking too much more in the grand scheme of things, but quality-wise and taste-wise, it's just in a different league. It's one of those things, once you go D'Orly's 14, you would probably never buy a D'Orly's 12 again, because that is stunning liquid, absolutely phenomenal. And as many of you know, I'm not the hugest Barbados unadulterated. You know, this has got dosage, a little bit of sugar added to it. The D'Orly's Foursquare won't. So, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the unadulterated Barbados stuff, and that goes for Mount Gay, and that goes for St Nicholas Abbey as well. I do like the plantation vibe that they bring to the Barbados rums. Eldorado 12-year-old, probably one of the biggest rums, proper rums, the world over. That needs no introduction. Guyana, 12-year-olds, like a blended. They've got the 3 stills over in Guyana there in, I can never remember the third one, Versailles, Enmore, sorry, and Port Morant. It's kind of a blend of those. Cracking, it's been a staple for me since one of the first rums I ever got into. They've stripped back the sugar, 2019-ish. Don't know whether it has got dosage still, whether they've definitely been stripped back, whether it's minimal, whether there's a tiny bit, I don't know, but it's very different to 2018, 2019, but amazing, banging. Appleton 12, again, needs no introduction. For me, I haven't got the Appleton 15. I've tried the Appleton 15. I actually go the other way to D'Orly's. I prefer the Appleton 12 to the 15. I can't justify the price increase to get me to the 15. That just does a fantastic job. It really does. And then the spiced rum. Not many spiced rums got recommended. But again, this was leaps and bounds about in front of number 6, number 7, number 8. And it really does surprise me that Chairman's Reserve quality spiced rum, one of these best spiced rums on the market. But it really did surprise me that this was the only Chairman, or this was the first thought of Chairman's Reserve that a lot of you had. You didn't really go Forgotten Casks. You didn't really go Legacy. You didn't go Rare. You didn't go the original. I was really surprised by that. But that is my community's view. What do I think? This video is proudly brought to you in association with Stratford Soda, one of my favourite mixer brands for rum. In fact, the only dedicated mixer brand to rum that I know of in the UK, and they are amazing. For people like me that can't handle too much fizziness or too much sugar, they are perfect because they're low in carbonation, low in fizz, don't give you the burps, they're low in sugar, and they're made with like proper natural fruit juice as well. We've got 4 in the range at the moment. We've got the citrus, which is like a long daiquiri. You just take the lid off and pour it into a glass with your rum, and you've got a long daiquiri. Amazing. We've got the tropical, which is like pineapple pineapple and coconut. We've got the hedgerow, which I'm drinking today actually with Lazy Dog's slow rum, and this is kind of like blackberry and rose, and it is absolutely divine. And we've got the spice, not to be confused with ginger beer. It's like cinnamon forward with a hint of ginger. So if you want to try these, get 50% off your very first order of the taster pack or the party pack. There's a link in the description of the video below. Just click it and it will auto populate the discount at checkout. So you've got no excuses if you're in the UK. I promise you, I absolutely love them. And if they aren't sweet enough, the best thing with these, you can add your favourite sugar syrup to them to kind of sweeten them up, or to make really easy 3-ingredient highballs. What's not to love? Back to the video. Now I'm going to quickly break this down into two parts. The over 50, because I have sort of developed a little bit of a palate for more than £50 in the UK, and the under 50. So quickly diving into the over 50, I have to give a shout out to these. I'm only going to get one of them down. This was a birthday present, and I've got the other one up there, Cuban rum. So I'm really sorry, US guys, but this is stunning. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about these in a very soon coming up video. Cuban 14-year-old white rum, stunning, absolutely stunning. It is over 100 quid. The same as that. I can't split them. They do very different things. That's a sort of a darker rum, if you like, a more an 18-year-old rum. So absolutely love that. Big shout out to Black Top. I really do love the Black Tops. I won't get them all out, but the collector's ones. So I've got all three of them here. This is 2022. I've got the 2021, the 2020. I'm going to be collecting those every year till they do them. I think it's a fantastic idea. Fantastic rums. So basically, the very short story, they always keep a bit back from the previous year to then blend in with the next year. So in this, there's a bit of a blend of the 2021, and in the 2021, there's a bit of a blend of the 2020. So obviously in this, you've actually got a blend of the 2021 and the 2020, of the 2020 and the 2021 in it. I think it's a fantastic. So in 2025, you're going to get a bit of the blend of the 24, the 23, the 22, 21. I think it's a stunning idea. Yes, a little bit expensive, but they are cracking rums. I am actually going to recommend Dawley's 14-year-old as well. I've just said it. Fantastic rum. But the last one, in the over 50 quid, I've just acquired a taste for this. Eldorado 15, stunning. I would have the Eldorado 12. I would restock that because I need it purely for videos. If it was personal consumption, yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's so good. It is so good. Now there is one caveat coming here as well, because while it is over 50 quid, it's not that much over 50 quid. And I want to give a shout out to the UK guys. I'm going to be doing a lot of work with UK rum in 2023. This is actually my second bottle of this. This is Ninefolds. This is Kit's edition 2. This got released last January, so it's nearly a year old. And cast 3, he is doing a cast 3, or an edition 3, I should say. So stay tuned for that in 2023. This is stunning. This for me at the moment is kind of like, and I haven't tried many, but this is the benchmark for me of UK, British scratched aged rums. I love that. So do keep an eye out for Ninefolds edition 3 whenever that drops. So they're my over 50s. What am I recommending under 50? So there you go. These are my, I was going to say 5, but 4. I'm genuinely going to leave it at 4. And there was one thing I was going to quickly mention. When you guys, my community, gave me this list of rums, was the Flor de Carne was the only example of what I would call a Spanish style rum, or even a columns, an out-and-out column still rum. Everything came back pot, or at least a blend of pot and column, but English country, Barbados, Jamaica, obviously St. Lucia for the spiced, but there was no Cubans, there was no Dominican Republics, no Nicaragua, it was just, it really threw me, really did, because I'm the other way. I really do love, especially the Cuban styles of rum. So I am going, these are my top picks. Yes, you know, long-term viewers will know I adore the Cubes. I really do adore the Cubes. The Suave, I've already mentioned it. It should be down here because I think it's brilliant. Absolutely do. But the white for the cocktails, again, absolutely stunning. But that's more of a passion project, and I know it's an acquired taste. I get it. It's very different to what they're. So these, I think, are catch-alls. The Plantation, Guatemala and Belize, Gran Añejo, I think is an absolute must pick. It's my top pick of all the sort of signature range from Plantation. Absolutely stunning. The Flor de Carne 12 speaks for itself. Is it 12-year-old rum? We're not sure. They claim it is now on the labels. The labels have changed to say 12-year-old, but for the price point and the quality, you can't argue with it. It's under 30 quid for a 12-year-old rum. It is banging. It is amazing. Absolutely love it. So I will always recommend that all day long. This might be a controversial one for you. This has grown on me in 2023 purely from a cocktail angle. I adore this to add like 30 ml in a split base cocktail, so 30 and a 30 of something else. This is the Boutique Rum Company signature blend #1, Jamaica and Martinique. Always get the two muddled up. Jamaica and Martinique. The other one is Jamaica and Guyana, signature #2, just tucked away in there. This is a fantastic addition for me, and I would pick this. It gives slightly different vibes. I would pick this over Smith & Cross in my cocktails, although I'm not dismissing that. This is lovely, and it does make a great daiquiri, to be honest. I do prefer the sort of the Cuban, the sort of the Spanish style in there is the daiquiri, but I absolutely adore that. That for me is kind of, it just kept winning the cocktail offs that I was having late last year. I just loved it. I just absolutely love it. And then I come on to this. Santiago de Cuba, 11-year-old. For me, the pick of the range. I don't actually have the 12. I wouldn't bother with the 12. Just stick to the 11. The 11 is fantastic, in my opinion. They don't even need to bother with the 12. If I'm being brutally honest, ditch the flipping 8 as well. We've got the 8. We've got the Carta Blanca up there as well. Ditch them. Put that into supermarkets. You will smash. It's an aged rum. Diageo that own this now. It's an aged rum in the supermarkets that will absolutely smash it, because it is just stunning liquid. My pick of the Cuban aged rums. I do love Eminente. I do obviously love Ron Cubes, but the price point under 50 quid. I think it's actually under 40 quid, if I remember rightly. It's stunning, stunning. So let me know your thoughts. Well, you've already let me know your thoughts. But if you're going to try any of these rums in 2023, dive into the comments and let me know which one you are going to try. Now, some of you, especially in my membership, in my Discord community, will be thinking, well, hang on a minute, you've not mentioned too many of the UK or the British scratch rums, and you do shout quite loudly about them. Well, the truth is, by including them, I thought I might be getting a little bit too patriotic. I can't genuinely stand here, hand on heart, and say some of them are as good as some of the rums that I have got behind me from all around the world. I think they are, but as I said, I might be a little bit biased in my own thinking. So I just want to sit on them for a good sort of 3 to 6 months and see how I feel about them in the next year or so. This time next year could be very interesting, because I do really think that some of them are as good as any rums I've tried, but I'm not gonna give in to biasness. I just want to let them sit. There are 10 distilleries at the moment in the British Isles, in the UK, that I'm kind of keeping track on. Ninefolds, obviously, as I have mentioned them. The others I've listed out: Matuga, Lazy Dog, Scratch, Two Drifters, Outlier, Retribution, Old Mother Hunt, Portsmouth, and Rose Mullion. They have some of the best rums that I've tried, and I'm so looking forward to following their journey even more through 2023. So watch this space for this video next year, because you may have some of the UK, some of the British scratch rums in this top rums that you need to try for 2024.